Some 180 ballistic missiles fired here at Israel, the vast majority of them shot down, but some striking the ground, including around us here in central Tel Aviv last night. Joining me now is Democratic Congressman Jared Moskowitz of Florida. He serves on the House Foreign Affairs Committee. Congressman, thanks so much for taking the time.
Thanks, Jim. Thanks for having me.
First, I want to begin with this significant Israeli loss. Our understanding this was in a firefight between an Israeli commando unit and presumably Hezbollah fighters on the other side of the border. This brings back echoes of the 2006 war when Israel suffered significant casualties with an uncertain outcome after the end of that war. It lasted about a month. I wonder, in your view, does this human cost so early on signal that this operation might be more dangerous than some had imagined?
Well, no, I think the Israelis know that it's dangerous, but I think they understand that it's more dangerous to allow Iran proxies on your border. The appeasement of Iran and its proxies, Hamas and Hezbollah, can no longer stand. We saw this actually just yesterday in Tel Aviv with a terrorist attack that's killing people, that were just on the high-speed rail. And so this mission is going to be dangerous. It is limited in scope. It is trying to push Hezbollah back away from the border so that people in Israel can return to their homes. Remember, Hezbollah has fired 9,000 rockets into northern Israel. 50,000 plus people have had to flee their homes there. So Israel is trying to establish some sort of normalize, the situation in the north so that people can return to their homes, but also to reestablish deterrence with Iran and its proxies.
I understand that I've spent a lot of time in northern Israel and talked to some of those families who have left. But as you know, Israel's track record of attempting exactly the same is spotty at best. It occupied Lebanon for 18 years, from 1982 to 2000. Then again had the war in 2006, perhaps caused some damage, some losses for Hezbollah, but Hezbollah lived to survive another day. And I just wonder, given the parallel efforts for some sort of negotiated agreement where perhaps the Lebanese military takes over control for southern Lebanon, might be a more lasting path rather than military action alone.
Yeah, no, I'm not against that. I think you're right. I think we'll have to get to a negotiated solution at some point. But in the meantime, I think Israel wants to degrade the amount of weapons that are on their border. Tens of thousands of missiles and rockets, pretty advanced stuff, not like Hamas. And Israel wants to go and degrade some of that capacity before we get to that situation. No one's talking about occupying Lebanon, right? This is a limited mission, a limited incursion, trying to restore some of the balance out there. But also, Jim, this is unprecedented territory. We had 180 ballistic missiles launched at Israel yesterday, the second time that has happened. This is all connected. It's not happening in a vacuum, as you know.
No question, Ed. We were right in the middle of that missile barrage last night. The question now is, how does Israel respond? And as you know, there is a camp in this country that sees an opportunity now, that says that now is the time perhaps to strike Iran's nuclear facilities, or even to attempt to bring about regime change in Iran via military action. And I wonder, do you think those are achievable goals for Israel, or ones more likely to spark a broader war?
Well, look, obviously, while I would like to see the supreme leader gone in Iran, no one should be talking about using this opportunity for regime change. I think that's just way too far. That being said, I don't think we should take Israel or the United States should take any options off the table militarily as far as the response is concerned. We shouldn't telegraph what we're not willing to do. At the end of the day, if you're Iran and you don't want your nuclear facilities to be taken out, well, one way to guarantee that is to not launch 180 ballistic missiles at another country that has the ability to take out your nuclear facilities. If you don't want your oil fields taken out, don't launch 180 ballistic missiles at another country. And so, at the end of the day, Jim, we'll see what Israel's response is going to be. I'm sure that's going to be done with talks with the United States. But yes, this is a very serious circumstance, and Israel there will be severe repercussions for firing 180 ballistic missiles at another country. If that happened to England or France or any European country, it would be significant. We can't just brush it off and be like, okay, they fired 180 ballistic missiles. Let's get to a ceasefire.
Just quickly, because you mentioned the U.S., are you saying the U.S. should be involved in an rather an Israeli response to this Iranian attack?
No, I think the Israelis can handle that on their own. I'm just saying that because we have, joint command out there, I'm sure the United States will be well aware of what Israel's planning to do.
Right. Understood. Congressman Jared Moskowitz, we do appreciate you joining this morning.